Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, we are back on this front entry remodel. Today's project, more of the same stuff as the last one, but we've got to move the washer and dryer out of this, what's now an alcove. It used to be a closet when we started this. And we're just going to move it over here to the floor in this area for the moment. That way I can take down those shelves and start pulling out this wall, pulling out that back wall, and ripping up those floors right there, because there are some bad spots there. They weren't as bad as here, or at least I don't think they're going to be, but they could be. But yeah, let's move, organize, and then get to work. We've only got a couple hours today because we're actually meeting with Mike and Alicia for dinner tonight, and it's already way later in the day than I really wanted to get started on this. I think it's after 3 already. My day is just gone. All right, so now you've got a little bit better of an idea of what we're dealing with. And this is exactly the way the house was when we purchased it. With the exception of that hole in the back side of the drywall down there. One of the dogs tried to chew through it from the other side. And I think maybe that's when we had a rodent in here and it was in between the washer and the wall. Dog tried to get through from the other side, but we're not positive. So yeah, this drywall's coming down, this drywall's coming down, and then this drywall's coming down. This wall here is completely going. That wall is completely going. But got to reroute plumbing, reroute some electrical over to this wall before we go too far. But for now, drywall. Got most of the drywall torn out, and I even ripped out one of the studs. But now you kind of see the scope of where we're going to. That is the back side of the closet that was in the office. We're actually removing that closet. I know, not fond of the idea of removing the closet, but we needed the room here. And as soon as I get this wall down, I think maybe then you'll be able to visualize the open space that we were looking for.
The fluff is flying. Be careful, that one on top looks like it's going to come down with it. So fun.
All right, so just the plumbing and electrical here remain, but if you look down here, you can see how rotten that was there behind the washer. Even some of the mold up there into the drywall is all going bye-bye. All right, while Katie is going to get ready for dinner, and I'm gonna follow suit here in just a moment, I went ahead and cleaned up, ran the shop vac, we swept up, and I don't know, maybe now you can kind of envision what's going on. So before, the washer sat here, the dryer was here, and that was the closet for our office, which is through those doors. What I plan on doing is turning the washer and dryer this way so that the washer will be here, the dryer will be here. That wall will have to get rebuilt. The door will move to the middle and it will become a double French door as the main door to the office. The current door to the office will then get pushed back to that wall as well, so that that wall will just go straight across, but the office door will be in the center, so that there's room for the washer and dryer to come off of this wall, and then a set of cabinets to come off of this wall, and counters. That door is going to get completely blocked off because we don't need it. We don't ever use it. And that will make this whole area look so much more open. So it'll go all the way to that corner, but all the way across to this corner square. It'll really open this whole area up right here. And obviously, to do this, I've got to move all the plumbing and this electrical over to this exterior wall so that everything fits. And I'm gonna build a platform to raise that washer and dryer up just a little bit. And if I've got room, which right now it doesn't look like I'm going to, I've only got about 8 inches to spare from that existing wall until we get to the trim that will go around the doorway. So I thought about putting like a narrow cabinet there, something to put the taller items like brooms and mops and stuff like that and everything on like that far side. But I think I need a minimum of 12 inches to do that. So if I have to tear those floors up, then maybe I just move that wall back another 4 inches, and then it gives me the room to do what I need. If not, we'll just put a cabinet somewhere else. The question that I've yet to answer is whether or not I've actually got to take this wall here out or just remove the doorway and frame in where the doorway was to get my new doorway. Really all depends on how far the damage goes underneath in the floors into that office area. Now the floors feel good and solid in there, but sometimes you don't know until you start opening up if there's any signs of mold or mildew where it's been there. Even if it's still solid, I'm going to get rid of it. So I may have to take that wall completely out, go a little bit further into the office with the floor repair, and then rebuild the wall afterwards. Just not sure yet. But it's dinner time to go get cleaned up, and we'll see you guys back here later. And we're back. All right, guys, it is the next morning. A little bit after 9, I had to run into Hiawassee, Georgia this morning. If you guys remember on the main channel, I had mentioned right around Christmas time that my new glasses, the measurements were wrong. And man, I've been looking through those wrong glasses for a month now, and it was all kind of goofy. When I got my new lenses put in today, so much better. But we got to get back on this project here. So I just pulled off this last little bit of trim here. Got to pull off the trim here. Then we have to remove this door to get the rest of this wall out. And then start tearing up these floors, make some progress. You know, and this is a part that I almost hate doing, because by taking out the door to the office, the closet door, all this trim, and that little stubby wall right here, it opens up a lot more debris to be able to go into the office. But I mean, it's going everywhere else in the house. I mean, the house is just a mess, and we just have to kind of learn to deal with that for right now. You know, and also I want to take a moment to thank you guys for subscribing. I mentioned in the last video, and a bunch of you actually went there and subscribed, and I greatly appreciate it. It does help the channel. And if you haven't already, please do so. Don't be selfish, just subscribe. right, so with all the drywall off of that little alcove area in the office, which, by the way, was completely wasted space. So the door to the office opened into this little alcove and the closet kind of popped out. So even though we're moving this wall back, we are technically taking away some square footage from our office area back here, but it's square footage that wasn't usable. The door just swung into it. You couldn't put anything there. It was kind of a waste of space anyways. And if this wall remains in the same position, the rest of it is the same. That's the only thing that we lose, plus the closet. But I think I'm gonna do some built-ins or something on the inside of here to make up for some of that closet space. But now that I've got this open, you can see those 2x4s there. There's definitely some water damage at the bottom of them. So in just a moment, I'm gonna pull up the laminate floor that's in the closet and in that entryway to the office, see how the underlayment looks, and get a better idea of that wall. I have a feeling that, because I can see some moisture in that drywall, I have a feeling that that wall is going to have to come out and get completely rebuilt. I was hoping to avoid that, but I got a feeling that this damage is going to go beyond that wall and I won't have a choice. All right, so as I look at this, I am making more decisions. You know, I was trying to kind of like salvage this piece of drywall here. Not sure what I was gonna do. That's why I tried to make that somewhat clean cut up there the other day when we were tearing that out. But thinking about it, the way this wall recessed in, so they drywalled this wall first, there's gonna be a gap there that's gonna need repair. Some of it's chewed up. There's a lot of holes in it. And I've gotta be able to run both of these electrical drops on this wall, plus move all this plumbing to this wall. I'm gonna have to get into it anyways, so I might as well just take it completely down and start from scratch on that wall with fresh drywall. And actually I might even do plywood up top because we're gonna be mounting some cabinets up here. That way they get something good, more solid to mount to. Just do drywall kind of in the middle where it'll be visible between the washer and dryer and the cabinets. All right, so I pulled the rest of that drywall down and the stud there and the corner post. I actually just ended up cutting the bottom of that one because there were so many. It was 4, it was too hard to beat out with the hammer. And that stud. Now I was focusing on this top plate right here, and we're running the same problem we had before. Remember when I pulled this section here down, the way they had built like the 6-inch piece on top of the 2x4 piece, so they had some place to nail the drywall to or screw the drywall to, whichever way they did. I think everything here is nailed. But it's not actually attached to anything else. So it's like terrible, and that's probably one of the reasons that these ceilings were so wavy and you can kind of see the seams. No real support there. And I'm going to show you, I'm trying to pry down this piece of top plate and everything is flexing and moving with it. So you can see that piece of top plate just goes from right there to the hammer and it goes to here, and you can see there's clearly a seam. So it's only about a 3.5 foot section, but watch when I try to pry it out. Now keep in mind, my rafters are running perpendicular to this. And I don't think this is attached. I don't see any nails where it's attached to the rafter. But I think, and I've got a rafter right here that I can pry against. But just watch. All right, so watch the top plate there, the drywall, even over here, over the doorway as I pull on this. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but the whole thing is just... So as I'm looking at the camera screen, I don't know that it's showing up, but as I pry down on this, I can actually see this end over here moving up, drywall and all. It's just such a terrible way they've done it. And I got to figure out how to get it out of there. Probably have to take the Sawzall and cut it. That way I can beat it out, twist it sideways, and try not to ruin all of the ceiling drywall just yet. It's all going to get replaced. I just don't want it all open right now, because like I said in the previous videos, all of my insulation will then fall down, and it's wintertime. Really don't want all my insulation out at the moment. Well, I made a boo-boo. I was trying to cut that bottom plate close to those pipes so I could get the bottom plate out without having to cut the pipes out yet. And I guess I nicked the pipe just a little bit too much. Water started squirting down. Had to go shut the water off to the house. So I'm gonna try and hurry up and get this out of here so that I can at least cap these off and do something with it. Wasn't planning on doing that yet, but I made a mistake. Well, you can see where I nicked it for sure. But I went ahead and pulled the pergo flooring out of there and the padding, and you can definitely see where there's some rot into that wall, and none of this looks very good right here. So I think I'm making a decision. That wall's got to come out too. The thing is, we're doing this one time in our lifetime. So if I got to go a little bit further and do it right, well, then that's just what we're going to do. I didn't really want to pull that wall out, but I think now I don't have much of a choice. I have to. And I think I need to do it now before I start pulling up these floors. Otherwise, I just won't have a place to stand to do that demo. So it's going to come down first. And then we're going to start where we left off with the new wood. Just start ripping out that old wood and move in that direction. So remember I mentioned before about like terrible build quality and just people not doing things right. So with the decision to take down that wall, I was on the other side of that wall, pulling the trim, the chair well, the baseboard, the trim around the closet door, cutting the seams on the drywall where I wanted to cut clean. And literally the entire door frame for this closet door fell out. So there was nothing holding this entire door frame in other than the clamshell trim all the way around. Not a single fastener holding the whole door jamb and door assembly in. How stupid is that? All right, and just a short time later, now that wall is gone, giving us way more of an open concept than what we were originally planning on. But yeah, this wall is going to go back. Zach and Talon are home now, so I think they're going to help me get this futon out of here so we can start pulling floors up and that not be in our way. But I was trying not to get ceiling down, but that one piece right there, it fell down on accident. And of course, all the insulation that was sitting on it came down on me as well. But not on me, but on me as I was trying to do it and not do it. So unfortunately, we're going to lose some insulation right there. Going to heat our attic. But I don't know. We're just going to have to deal with All right, guys, there we go. As you can see, we had to go, I don't know, about 4 feet further into the office than I wanted. Right there is where the wall ended. And you see we went, I don't know, 2.5 more bays. But we got it all up. Zach's cleaned up most of the nails sticking up out of the joist. And now he's down there sweeping that floor. I'm now working on relocating the plumbing up onto the wall. So I went out to Lowe's and got a brand new washing machine outlet box. Instead of trying to reuse the old, well, actually the old one didn't have one, but I want this to look nice and neat when it's all said and done. And they're just the quarter turn valves instead of like hose bib valves, which I just think works better. So gotta figure out where we're gonna put this, run our pipes. I got them for PEX fitting, just like we did with the hot water heater. So I can crimp them with the PEX up top, run them down, and then I'm just gonna shark bite them to the existing copper for right now until we figure out exactly how we're gonna fix the plumbing downstairs. All right, so we've cut the drain pipes out and I've rerouted the plumbing over to the new washer dryer outlet. That's gonna go approximately there. So now Zach is double checking, make sure there's no nails sticking in these rafters. We've got 2 sheets of plywood left. It's not gonna be enough to cover this whole thing, but we're gonna at least get them thrown down. Well, I didn't have enough of the subfloor to finish the last little bit there, but we definitely got into some really good wood over there. Looks like some of the staining may have gone under this wall too, but like I said, that's a project for another day. We did what we needed to do here. I did get the water rerouted over here for the washer and dryer. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the drain system hooked up yet. I mean, I've got a pipe sitting here, but it's not actually hooked up down below. And there was a vent here. I'm gonna have to completely reroute that, so that's not done yet. But I have to kind of call this project quits for right now because I'm going out of town tomorrow. So I'm trying to get it cleaned up the best I could while I'm gone. Heading to the I think it's called the NVP Dealer Expo. It's put on by Parts Unlimited Drag Specialties. This is one of the distributors that we use to buy our motorcycle parts. And because we are now at the beginning of 2025, all of the manufacturers that actually make parts that are distributed through drag, well, not all of them, but about 300 of them are going to be there debuting their new lines for 2025, making deals with the dealers like myself. And I got an invite to it, and I think it'd be pretty interesting. I'm going to bring you guys along with me, but that will be on the other channel. That'll be on the Amsoil Adam main channel. But we leave for that tomorrow morning. It is this Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully it'll be a good time. It's up in the Louisville Convention Center, same place that we go to for the Mid-America Truck Show. So it's about a 6-hour drive for me. I'll stay 2 nights in a local hotel and enjoy. See, maybe we'll see some new products come out. I'm really excited, especially with the 2024 Road Glide and Street Glide being introduced last year. I'm waiting for more manufacturers to create more parts for those that maybe we haven't seen yet. But who knows? Making
Bread
bread.
with herbs de Provence and garlic sourdough.
Awesome. So anyway, guys, I think we're going to end this one here so that I can go do what I got to do this weekend and not drag this video out any further than it needs to be. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until the next time we see you, keep those home renovations going.